Hey guys, today we're going to talk about solving quadratic equations by factoring. This is lesson 98. So we'll be given directions to solve, and what that means is we're looking for a root. Well, roots are also called solutions, and if you recall from the other day, roots and solutions are also called x-intercepts. So anytime you see any of these three words, know that you're looking for the same thing. A quadratic equation can have 0, 1, or 2 roots as well. So there's a varying number of answers you could have. And in order to solve these algebraically, or to solve them by factoring, we need to take our equation and set it equal to 0 and then factor. So for an example, we'll be told to solve y equals x squared plus x minus 20. Well, just like that last note that we took, we need to set our equation equal to 0 and then we need to factor. So we set up, since it's a trinomial, we set up our two sets of parentheses, factors to be x plus 5 and x minus 4. The zero product property tells us that either one of these pieces must be 0 in order to have the product be equal to 0. So we take each piece and set it equal to 0, and then solve each of those. So we have our roots, or our solutions, to be x equals negative 5 and x equals 4. Graphically, since we talked about those being solutions, those are also called x-intercepts. So just a little idea, graphically, this would be our parabola. It would point up because our a value is positive or greater than 0. And then here would be those x-intercepts, okay, or those solutions or roots. Here's another one, x squared plus 2x equals 8. Well, we need to set this equal to 0. Well, we would need to subtract 8. So we get x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. And then we factor. That factors to be x plus 4, x minus 2. And our two roots would be x equals negative 4, because the opposite of that, and x equals positive 2. Okay, here's another one. 7x squared minus 6 equals 19x. Again, set it equal to 0 or write it in standard form. So we have that. Then we need to factor this. So we have to list off all of the factor pairs for 7 times 6. Well, 7 times 6 gives us 42. So here are your factor pairs for 42. And I would like you guys to decide how the rest of this will be factored and then tell us our x-intercept. So you need to factor it and then solve and find the roots. And last, here is another example. So again, write this in standard form or set it equal to 0. So I'm going to add this 2x squared to the other side so that it's no longer negative. So we have 20 equals 2x squared minus 20x plus 70. I just rearranged those two. And then subtract the 20 that's on the left side. So we get 2x squared minus 20x plus 50. Well, each of these can be divided by 2. So we're going to factor out that 2. We're going to pull out a 2, and that leaves us with x squared minus 10x plus 25. This is still set equal to 0, so we can still factor this trinomial. When we go to factor, it becomes a 2 times x minus 5, x minus 5. Well, these two parentheses are the exact same, so we only have one root, and it would be x equals 5. So graphically, you would only have one x-intercept.